Holman, is it true that you just busted a filling out of your mouth 5 seconds before I cracked the mics open?
Yep. And we're leaving tomorrow.
I know, right?
So no time for any dental work, so this should be fun.
Are you slurring?
No.
You are a little bit. You're
No,
going to
I'm
have to, yes, you got to correct for that.
No, I'm not slurring.
I'm sorry. Does it hurt?
Not yet.
Okay.
Got ice water here.
Oh,
Let's see.
here's the test. Does it hurt?
No.
So it's not on the nerve.
No.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right, good. Then we can do a show.
Just cutting my tongue open with every moving word.
All right. Every moving word. It is the Truck Show Podcast. My name is Lightning. He's Holman, and he hates when I say that. Welcome to it. On this episode, we got Joe Z. Zizzadoro is his last name, and he owns Taser. You ever heard of Taser? Well, he actually owns Z-Automotive that makes the Taser, and a brand new device.
So then he owns a lot of tasers. Whole inventory.
A whole inventory of tasers, although he's probably having a hard time keeping them in stock because they are incredibly popular. And if you haven't heard of a taser, then you must not listen to this show. But the taser is a device that plugs in line with a lot of the vehicle's sensors, and you can manipulate your truck, your Jeep, to do all sorts of really neat things.
On Mopar stuff.
Right, on Mopar right now. I hope he spreads his wings into some other makes and models.
Taser's beside the point. He has a new product out that does what your Igla does.
Well, that's what I was getting to. Yes.
So we'll
some security.
Yeah, we'll talk to him about that. And so, what do you guys think of the Nissan Armada that dropped last week? We had our episode. Dude, I had to bite my tongue on that one for a while.
Is that how you busted your tooth?
No, that was from biting my tooth.
Oh, okay.
Now that it's out and reading everybody's reviews, like everybody's as stoked on it as I am. So I was like, okay, good.
So were you worried that the general consensus would not be the same as yours?
No, not worried, but it's one of those things where, somebody releases something new and I see, I guess because I have a little more insight, I'm like, wow, I see all the little things here. Does everybody else see it? Or do they just see the one photo of the outside and then go, yay or nay or whatever. But people are like, wow, the interior's amazing. I had a lot of people with the off-road package where they're like, this is going to replace the Land Cruiser, and just lots of comments. So anyway, we posted up on Truck Show Podcast on the Instagram, so you should check that out. So if you haven't seen the new Armada, definitely check it out and listen to our last episode, which was our Have You Heard with Brent Hagen from Nissan. So
pretty in-depth. You'll like it.
Yeah, it's cool. So speaking of Nissan is the presenting sponsor of the Truck Show Podcast, and we usually talk about the Frontier, but we should definitely give a nod to the upcoming Armada, which should be out within the next couple months at your local dealer.
Do you know if you can place an order for it?
I don't know that, and they have not announced pricing yet. So that'll be coming hopefully in the next few weeks.
So you could call your local Nissan dealer and say,
I'm sure you could
I'm Joe Smith.
One.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hey, whatever the first one is, put my name on the list.
Gotcha.
For sure. So anyway, lots to like with that package, and also lots to like with their midsize truck, the Nissan Frontier. So the 24s are getting cleared out now to make way for the redesigned and refreshed 25s, that nice interior update with the screen. Oh, and the tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Had one of our listeners is like, I can't believe it. My Nissan Frontier is going to be worthless now. It has the screen I want and the tilt and telescoping steering. I'm like, your Nissan's going to be fine. Right. They hold their value.
Yes, they do.
So anyway, if you're in the market,
that's the thing that set them over the edge.
Makes all the difference. So if you're in the market, definitely head on down to your local Nissan dealer or go to nissanusa.com where you can build and price a Nissan Frontier and look at photos of the brand new Nissan Armada.
And as you know, if you have a diesel pickup truck, boost tubes they tend to blow over time. And by that I mean the boost tube is out of the turbo, into the intercooler, out of the intercooler, and into the intake manifold. And they're held all together with rubber boots. And over time, the rubber boots, they flex a lot because the engine is moving around, this and that, and they burst. And the factory pieces are expensive, and they're really restrictive. So if yours bursts, it's time to upgrade to a Banks boost tube. They're massive. They flow considerably more air. You'll feel the improvement in throttle response almost right away. If you're interested in a set of Banks boost tube upgrades, go over to bankspower.com, type in your year, make, and model, and explore yours.
So, Lighting, are you in diesel competition? Did you
know I am.
Sled pulls, drag races?
Every Sunday.
Dyno challenges?
Saturdays.
Are you using AMSOIL's Dominator competition diesel oil?
7 days a week.
So that means you can enjoy the confidence and security that come with providing diesel trucks maximum protection and performance. You get wear protection. You get viscosity control. And you get an oil that can withstand extremely high turbocharger heat.
That's right. Praise on, my brother.
Dominator 20W50 competition diesel oil is compatible with other conventional and synthetic oils, but if you mix AMSOIL with those other oils, it'll shorten the life expectancy and reduce the performance benefits.
No.
However, if you use AMSOIL on its own,
Yes?
it's long-lasting, which means that you can do multiple events between oil changes, and you can use AMSOIL's oil analysis program to determine the appropriate drain interval. They've got it. API, CK4, CJ4, CJ4+, CH4, Cummins, Mack, Volvo, Caterpillar, Renault, Chrysler, Ford, all of that good stuff. Use that when you are working your diesel hard out on the racetrack.
You know me. Hallelujah!
You can find out more about Dominator competition diesel oil at AMSOIL.com. AMSOIL is the first in synthetics.
I feel like we should make a jingle for them, like Dominator. Dominator. All right, well, changing gears to EGR USA.
What,
They're
they
our
don't get a
friends
song?
At EGR.
No.
No, it doesn't work? No. You don't think they like that? Okay. Their products are much better than my jingle. So if you're looking for the ultimate retractable bed cover, the Roll Track is what you've been searching for. If you've got a Jeep Gladiator, if you got a Ram, you got a GM, either a Chevy or GMC, you got a Ford F-150. If you have any one of the most popular trucks on the road, EGR has a Roll Track manual or electric retractable bed cover for you. Head over to egrusa.com to explore all the different bed cover options. And I'm telling you, when you get this thing on your truck, you're going to be like, oh, Lightning was not lying. This actually is the best tonneau cover I could possibly spend my money on. So head over to egrusa.com. And if I'm lying, I'm dying.
The Truck Show. We're gonna show you what we know. We're gonna answer what the truck, 'cause truck rhymes with the Truck Show. We have the lifted, we have the lowered, and everything in between. We'll talk about trucks that run on diesel and the ones that run on gasoline. The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
It's the Truck Show with your hosts, Lightning and Holman.
All right, it is time to call Mr. Joe Zizzadoro of Z-Automotive fame. And let me go here, pull up his cell phone, and dial.
Hello?
There he is, Mr. Joe Z, Lightning and Holman, Truck Show Podcast.
Josie.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Outstanding.
I was going to say it's going way better now because I don't have freaking four-cylinder mode making drone noises on my 392.
Well, hold on, you'll get to that.
I know, but I'm excited about it now.
I know. All right, Joe,
right.
You always have to pick it. So it's bluegrass or hard rock? Death metal? What do you want, bluegrass or death metal?
Let's go bluegrass.
Bluegrass, here we go.
Yeah.
You're the innovator motivator. You're the innovator motivator. You're the innovator motivator. Make new stuff and it's really, really cool. Yeah, you're the innovator motivator. Step on up and tell us what you're working on.
I don't know if that.
I don't
actually,
think that was
not bluegrass.
That wasn't the right one. You didn't
It's
play the
not
right
bluegrass.
one.
No.
You play the other one.
What are you talking about? He said blue. You were the one that said, let's
No,
call it
we have
bluegrass.
we have two of them. What
Yeah,
was the other one?
This one.
Oh, yeah, that's the death metal
This
one.
is not. No, we were.
Innovator, moderator, Truck Show. Innovator,
Oh my God.
moderator, Truck Show. Innovator, moderator.
I gotta play the whole thing now.
I know.
Here we go. Oh, no, hold your ears.
Truck Show. Truck Show. Truck Show. Man, that hurts my throat.
Oh my God.
We haven't played that one in a long time.
It's been a minute. All right, Mr. Joe Z.
Well, first,
truly is
hold on.
an innovator.
Hold on. I got a bone to pick with him.
Well, you don't start out by insulting him.
I'm not insulting.
That's my job.
I'm just asking why he always responds to your emails and not mine. I feel so sad.
I don't know. I text him.
Oh, you text? Oh, no
texted
wonder.
him.
Texting
Okay.
works better. Yeah.
Dude, me and Joe, we're tight.
All right, so you guys will know Josie. He's been on the show before. He's the innovator of the Taser, which is a device for Mopar vehicles, Jeep
I like to
vehicles.
call it a lifesaver.
It is unbelievable, and the fact that it's constantly getting better with updates over time. So think about a device you would, in the case of, let's say, my Jeep. you plug it in, you can do things like your tire size and your gear ratios and all that kind of basic stuff. But then you can make it so it doesn't honk 3 times when you get out with the keys in it, or it doesn't do the auto park when you open a door when you're backing up a trailer, or a gazillion other things. You can do a light show. You can do pin lock.
I do my light show. I can wag it left to right. So if you ever see with the Taser DT for the Ram DT, all of them, TRX 1500s, if you like the amber DRLs, you ever drive down the street and you see amber DRLs that go on full time, that's the guy has a Taser. Yeah. That's how he did that. That's how I do it.
That giveaway.
Or if you're sitting there in a parking lot and all of a sudden somebody does the key fob trick and then there's a light show. And so
Taser.
Right. So they put a thing on social media and they're like, hey, does your Mopar do this? Dude, so funny. So they had, obviously, we're showcasing the Taser, and there's a certain sequence you push on your key fob, and the light show goes off. So they kind of like tease, like, if you have any Mopar, you can do it. So all these people that had Chargers and Challengers and Rams, they all started doing it. So I had all these friends. I must have had 7 or 8 people.
They all thought it was a secret menu in their key fob.
They sent it to me, and they go, why won't mine do that? I'm like, mine does. And I would send them a picture of mine doing it back.
And you didn't tell me you had a Taser.
And I didn't tell them I had a Taser.
Burn.
So at the end, it was like, okay, you need a Taser. But that was hilarious because so many people were mad that they didn't have the functionality, and they realized, oh, I can get it.
But I think your social guys
We got
started
a bit
that.
of hate mail over that one.
I'm sure you did, but that started, wasn't it an April Fool's joke? Didn't it start around April Fool's or no? Did he just do it?
No, he just did it out of the blue, and he said, and he put in the comments, you need to have a Taser, but no one reads the comments.
No, of course not.
No, they don't troll through the comments.
And we had people saying, I ran out here at 3 a.m. to try this, and it doesn't work. What the hell?
So the thing that I love, that I think is one of the, it's probably one of the, like, it's just no big deal for Joe just add one of these things, but it was my favorite feature. I have new ones now, but up until today, it's been my favorite feature. Every time I turn off my truck, it folds the mirrors in. And it's so great because the truck is just so freaking wide. And I've had other trucks before, and you're in a Home Depot parking lot, and a big guy walks through and he clips it with his shoulder, and it folds forward, or it breaks or whatever. I love it so much. I know it's like silly, but I would buy it just for the auto folding mirror feature.
So there's a few other things. So obviously, forced rear wheel drive on the all wheel drive stuff, a TRX or a Wrangler 392 in my case. But some of the stuff that's really cool is if you have the small radio and you want to upgrade to an 8.4, you can do that. If you have non-LED lights and you want to put LED lights on your regular, you can change that with the Taser so that you have the right power going to it and the computer recognizes that you have LEDs. You can enable, disable factory fog lights. You can enable the trailer brake controller. So like if you have a Gladiator and they make a trailer brake controller that goes where the cigarette lighter is, but you need a software update at the dealer that's going to cost another $150, well, the Taser can activate that menu. You can enable and disable all sorts of things like blind spot detection, the seatbelt chime reminder, your park sense. You can change the splash screens in your cluster if you want to do something.
Got another one that I love. I have my front-facing camera. Yep. It automatically goes on when I approach something close. So you're always curious, how close to the wall are you? Because like, is my truck really as big as I think it is? And then you slam into the wall, or you don't, or you get out and it's embarrassing because you're 7 feet away. But now, so as soon as the proximity senses, it turns on my forward-facing camera, and it's brilliant.
That is my favorite feature.
How about this?
It's a must-have.
Use garage door opener after shutdown. So you turn it off, and your garage door opener opens up. Or the other thing is, this is one of those ones where you don't think you need it until you're in it. Winch mode, where it'll bump up the RPM if you're winching someone.
Like a high idle.
Yeah, exactly. And then dark mode, which turns off all the exterior lighting, the dash, radio, shifter lights if you're parked with the engine running. Which that's nice, like especially if you're at like a rest stop and you want to sleep for a little while.
Or
and you
what about hunting?
And you want to just have like the AC going and the car idling. You don't have to have all these lights on. One of the ones I really like is the fact that obviously you can engage lockers in two-wheel drive and high on demand, which is huge. And I also like turn assist, which is like the Bronco trail turn, where if you do a sharp all the way to lock and you're on a sharp turn, it locks up the inside rear brake and allows you to make a sharper turn, like on a switchback or a shelf road.
Just skidding
like
and dragging it around?
Yeah. And so it pivots on that back wheel instead of rolling with it, and then that allows you to make a sharper turn. So,
do we even need Joe on the phone with us? We're just going to talk about it without him.
Well, we're not even talking about the Taser. We're just setting the stage because something else recently came out, and that's really why we're here.
Joe, take us through your brand new device, No Limits.
Okay, so we have No Limits. We have one for the DT and one for the Wrangler JL and the Gladiator GT. So they are similar in function, but a little different in what they do for both cars. For the DT, it removes the speed limiter without affecting the factory warranty. So it doesn't write anything to the PCM. It can't be detected by dealer tools in any way, shape, or form. But go as fast as you want. That was the main purpose for it. But then I'm never satisfied. I'm never finished. So I look to add more features in if I can. And I put in a blocking function to keep keys from being programmed to the car. So it's an added security feature. If you have a No Limits DT or JL, someone tries to program a new key for it to steal the car, and there's no way, shape, or form. There's no way they're going to do it. So it's kind of security for free, if you will.
Let's not understate how important that is. Because before Joe did it, there's another brand that I happened to have, and I had it before.
Yep.
And thank God I did, and Joe knows about it.
Yep.
I had, because he didn't offer that feature, and now he does. Now in hindsight, I would have gotten Joe's. I would have got the No Limits, but
So let me. This could be just so we're clear. So DT is current generation Ram 1500, and then obviously JL, JT are Wrangler Gladiator, and then the No Limits can be used by itself or it can be stacked with a taser because it's in a completely different part of the car. It plugs into your Green Star connector on a JL, which is behind the dash. You have to take a few things off. I was able to install mine in literally about 12 or 15 minutes. I mean, it was that fast. And
all factory connectors.
All factory connectors. The instructions were super easy. So I told Joe, and I emailed, I'm like, I want to send you my money. Like, this is amazing. Mostly, obviously the security thing's important because I have to park outside every once in a while. Like, if I'm back from a trip, I might leave the Jeep out on the driveway for a couple days before I put it back in. So that's huge. But the real reason was on a 392, the drone in four-cylinder mode is freaking annoying. So there's a couple things going on. One is just the way the Wrangler's a giant open, box, and so everything just resonates in there. And then you add the V8, and it wants to just, doubly.
And you
do that.
sound deadened.
And I sound
as much as you could possibly sound deadened, and it still resonates.
It goes into four-cylinder mode. And the other problem is four-cylinder mode. There's a lot of warranty issues with it going in and out, causing issues. So there's some premature issues with engine failures and things like that. I
heard it really messes with the lifters.
Yeah, so
it does. It's been like that for years.
Yeah, and it's a known thing. I don't want that happening. And then the other thing is, so imagine you're driving cross country, right? I drive to Colorado in my Jeep all the time. I just got back from a trip when, in fact, I was able to install the No Limit. So I'll even back up. So I begged, said, let me throw it in there. They go, we don't have any in stock, but we'll get you. One shows up at my house. Just shows up. And I'm like, yeah, right. So got in it, installed it, went on a 2,200-mile trip, full 600 miles of off-roading. If that isn't a indicator of, the durability or reliability, zero issues, no four-cylinder mode, hardly any hit to fuel economy at all.
No check engine lights.
No check engine lights, nothing. Flawless. And the thing is, imagine you're driving cross country. You're on a 10, 12-hour drive, and you're going through the mountains. Because the altitude's changing and the pitch of the road's changing, you'll be like, brrr, and then it'll go, oh, I'm cruising in four-cylinder mode. And then you go to the hill. Then there's a laziness between getting out of four-cylinder mode and then downshifting to where it needs. And it's just like drones, and it gets really fatiguing on long trips. So I was like, this No Limits is cool. And then when I read it got rid of four-cylinder mode, I'm like, well, that's going to be a durability thing. That's also going to be a fatigue thing for me. And then I went on to so much better, so much more enjoyable. I never have to worry about four-cylinder mode again. And I can't thank you enough, Joe. That has made the one big thing about the 392 that I'm not in love with, and now I don't have to worry about it. Before it was like auto park, or the three honks on the trail. Because perfect example, I keep my keys in my pocket because I'm out spotting people, right? So I may drive on an obstacle, spot people. So my taser was great because if I had my key in my pocket, I'm not locking it in the car, and I'm going to get out to spot somebody. Every single time you're leading a trail ride, honk, honk, honk. Yep. So those are the two things that were previous. The last thing remaining that I hated was four-cylinder mode, and now it's just glorious V8 noises all the time.
You've got your dream Jeep now.
Now, yeah,
really
thanks to Joe.
Yeah. So Joe, without giving away any secret sauce here. How do you defeat it? What do you tell the vehicle, the ECM?
You mean how to defeat the OE programming?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you keep it from going into
Not
the
how to
four-cylinder
defeat
mode?
the no
So the
limits.
normal way you do this is you go in and reprogram the PCM and tell it that there's no speed limiter or tell it that there's no MDS. But in doing that, you're voiding your warranty because that they can tell you change the calibration. No limits is what's called a man-in-the-middle device, which gets in between the PCM and the rest of the car. So I'm able to manipulate some of the data as it flies across. To simply put it, if you're going 80 miles an hour, I'll tell it it's going 80. If you're going 140, I'll still tell it you're going 80. So the PCM doesn't know any different. This way, there's no way to detect it. There's no harm in telling it that it's going a little slower than it really is because it's just the PCM that knows that. The rest of the car knows you're going 140. So all your safety systems still work. Speedometer still works. Odometer works fine. The only difference is the PCM is not holding back power on you. And similarly, I do that for keeping the MDS off. I just tell it that it's not MDS ready. Simple command to say, no, we can't do MDS right now. So it doesn't. Same thing with traction control.
Well, let me stop you right there, Joe. What are the circumstances, because we honestly don't know, what are the circumstances that the ECM or PCM, we're talking about the engine control module or the main module of the
powertrain control module.
Powertrain control module. Okay. So then what is it looking for to say, okay, we've checked all the boxes right now. We're in flatland. We can go into four-cylinder mode.
It does a lot of its own calculations, the PCM, for engine load and RPMs, and there's like 100 parameters. But it does get some parameters from the ABS controller and from the transmission controller. So I'm basically telling it that the transmission's not ready for MDS, and it keeps it out.
Well, and then I just
had to pick one parameter.
Yeah, so I was going to walk through real quick because here's on the JL product, the JL No Limits. So disables factory speed limiter. So obviously, if you've got mud terrain tires that aren't speed rated, you don't want to be doing 120 or something. So be smart about it, but it takes it away. Great for
please.
passing or a quick drag run where you're not limited at the end of the racetrack, that kind of stuff. Disable speed and torque limiters in 4 low, which is nice because you get all the power. So for somebody like me that doesn't want the computer to override their driving, I'm not a huge throttle guy. I'm not a hammer down guy. I'm a finesse guy. Well, sometimes computers get in the way of finesse guys off road because it's retarding the power available when you're trying to modulate over stuff, and it's going, oh, in case this guy slams down, we don't want all this power going through the drivetrain, so we're going to artificially limit it. Well, me as somebody who likes to drive, that gets in the way of my style of driving, so that's really nice. Disables torque management system and traction control, disables MDS in the 392, which is the multi-displacement system or the 4-cylinder mode. Allows full power and 2-wheel drive on 4xe. So when you do rear-wheel drive on the Taser, you're able to get all the power, which is super, super cool.
That's on the 4xe, the hybrid Wrangler.
Which is awesome. So in the hybrid...
So when you're in 2-wheel drive on the hybrid Wrangler, it limits power, like seriously limits power. But the No Limits allows full power, so you could do burnouts with the 4xe now, like easily.
Which is awesome because that thing has plenty of torque to do it too. So all you 4xe guys with a Taser who are like, I love forced rear-wheel drive, except for it doesn't have power. Well, guess what? Now you can fully enjoy it like us 392 guys can. Blocks access to the RF hub, so that's the key programming issue. That's probably the biggest thing for most people.
Well, can we pause there and
Sure.
go to that? So talk through, again, without giving away how you're doing it specifically, but for those people who listen, and Joe, I've gone on for months about my personal issue, my truck being broken into. And luckily, I had what I call, and forgive the term, but I call it a CAN bus shunt. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's what I call it. And it makes it so they can't put the vehicle into key pairing mode. And luckily, I had that on my vehicle. So they broke the window, they got in, they climbed in, they connected to the CAN bus, and they tried to put it into key pairing mode. And then they would connect their little Android tablet or whatever they had and tell it that that's the new key. And as soon as the vehicle said, okay, you have a new key, they could just drive it away as if the key was in their pocket. How does your device work and what does it do?
So, without using names, the other product, of course, I have my hands on one so I can see what it does and how it works. And it took me probably about 10 minutes to figure out how to go around their key pairing block. I think I'm the only person that knows how to do that to date because I don't think any vehicles have been stolen with that yet. So
Don't jinx me, please.
I'm not gonna share that information on how to do it because I'm not that guy. But I just know that it did have a weak spot, and it didn't take very long. And I know these crime ring guys are pretty smart, so someone's gonna figure it out at some point. So I just took that a step further. I figured if that can be beat, I got to be a little bit smarter to be able to, not use that method. So I took it a couple steps further. As far as I know, I don't think anyone's going to get around it.
The issue I had with yours, and I said it on the air, was I didn't like the secretiveness around what somebody's doing to my vehicle where I didn't know what was involved. I know exactly what's involved with this product.
Well, you don't. I mean, you don't know what's in it.
No.
You're not
I know where it
opening-
is. I can. Right. The nice thing about Joe's product, the No Limits,
Well, because you're installing it.
you're installing it, but there's no permanent modifications. Nothing gets reprogrammed in the vehicle. Again, it can be turned on or off at any time. It's simply a plug and play. You reverse it, you're done, and it doesn't leave a footprint.
I would assume you want to hide it, though, right? I mean,
Well,
if someone...
but it's buried behind the dash, so it's not like on yours. They just pop the headlight switch out and they connect right there. This you would have to spend 10 minutes moving stuff out of the dash.
No. My device.
No. How they would get into your vehicle without the device. Right? Like it's through the headlight switch is how they did on yours?
Yeah.
That's how they always do it.
Yeah, through the headlight switch. What I'm saying is the device that prevents it,
right, is hidden somewhere.
I literally don't know where it is. If I wanted to remove it, I don't have a clue where to start.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
I can help you find it.
Oh, you okay? All right. Well, I mean, so Joe, like, let's get real here for a second. I installed $10,000 worth of stainless steel bollards that retract. Right. So, like, I'm serious about this. Like, I just ran into a guy last night at Adam Carolla's studio, and he had his an attempted break-in as well. And luckily, he had the same device that I had, but they're being broken into all the time to be stolen. Do you think that I am at risk with the device that I have, and I should switch to Taser, or do you think, or you feel like?
No, I think that's a solid product, and the reason why it's a solid product is because it's hidden, and most people aren't going to figure out how to find it. But the beauty of the device is that it's hidden, and if no one finds it to cut the wires, or they don't make a third little device like I can to get past the key programming, the truck is safe. No one's gotten past it yet that I know of.
Well, I like it because I feel like I can leave with pin lock and No Limits. Pin lock on the Taser, which you have to put a code in order to start it. With that and No Limits, I feel like I can park anywhere. Because like sometimes I'll go to Vegas, right? It might be on my stop on the way out to the desert. I have to stay at a hotel overnight. Like I'm always worried about it being in the parking lot or a parking structure in a place like that. And I don't like driving into LA because of the same reason. I don't want to. I feel like with the Z-Automotive products, the Taser in unison with No Limits, like I can breathe a little bit. I'm okay walking away from my prized Jeep.
Yeah, it's safe. Between the two, it's definitely safe. From my own experience, I have a TRX. I got a couple of 392 Wranglers. I leave them out all the time, hoping that someone's going to try to steal one because it would be great advertising.
Yeah, it would be great social media. Cameras just pointed at it, ready to go.
Like, it's a tax write-off.
Marketing.
Leave it in, MetLife parking lot, hoping that someone will take it, but no one touches it.
I was also going to mention on the No Limits for the JL, there's a freaking P1400 code that owners get, and this basically removes that.
What is the code for?
That code.
So that code is aftermarket ECU detected. That code pops up as soon as you modify the PCM. If you just simply unlock the PCM and don't change anything, it'll still come up. And once it comes up, it's stored permanently in the PCM. So even if you go and put another PCM in the car, you're still going to have that code. And that's a red flag to the dealer that something's been messed with.
So remember when
you don't want that.
Remember when I had my supercharger?
Yes.
And we did the flash on it for the supercharger.
Oh, yeah.
It was all California EO. It was all legal.
Yeah, but it checksum PID,
We
right?
could not get rid of that code. So I would get check engine lights, and Mike Rice, when he was over at the local Jeep dealer, he's like, here's the list, and we don't know what's causing these codes. Well, now I know it was from the ECU being modified. So it's in perpetuity going to be stored on there, and I've seen it firsthand in previous Jeeps.
It's like a light switch that can't be unflipped.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And so you're not setting this. It's so funny, Joe, you're on all these same groups that I am and Holman is, and you see the guys that do flash tunes all the time. And in the eco-diesel community, it's like, oh no, the dealer can't see this stuff. We can, they're like just such BS to sell their product. I'm like, The dealer can easily see. It's called a checksum PID, a PID, right?
Right.
And anyone, any guy with a factory scan tool can tell that you've modified the ECM and that you put it back to stock. Like they can see that. But when your device is in line with it's intercepting signals and it's modifying the signals, passing them along to the ECM, PCM, BCM, whatever, those devices don't know that they're not getting the data from the sensors of the vehicle. Nothing's being changed permanently. Once you remove the taser or the no limits, it's like it was never there. It doesn't know that it wasn't speaking to the other body parts.
It's a physical connection. Yeah, there's software involved, and that's the magic of what Z-Automotive does, but it's physically inserted along the wiring harness. And then, Joe, I was going to ask you, like, for example, what type of draw can you expect from a taser or no limits? Is it a few milliamps? Is it just because people are always curious? They're like,
will it kill your battery?
Well, I'm putting this thing in here, and now I have a draw I can't find. Where's that coming from? It's always nice to know that you've designed with a product with that in mind as well.
Yeah, when they're in sleep mode, the taser pulls about 7 milliamps, the no limits pulls about 3, I think, and the vehicle itself pulls close to 100 when it's sleeping. So it's not enough to make a huge difference. And if you're storing the vehicle for 3 weeks, it might make a day difference. But you're only talking a few percent.
Yeah, so
it's inconsequential.
Basically, the moral of the story is if you have a modern vehicle and you're going to leave it for a month at a time, just put it on trickle charger, and then that way you don't have to worry about it. But at the end of the day, the no limits and the taser aren't going to be a problem with a battery drain or anything like that.
It's funny. I actually added to the JL, since the JL pulls so much current when it's sleeping, and they're known to kind of go dead after a couple weeks on their own.
And they have
added to the taser.
And
they do.
Yeah.
And I added to the taser latest code, but I never actually even posted anywhere. If you turn the vehicle, I forget what you have to do. Turn the vehicle up while holding one of the buttons. It puts it into ship mode, when it's sitting in the dealer lot. So it pulls about 60 milliamps instead of pulling 90 or 100.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Wait,
that'd be great for storage.
Wait. How do you do that again?
I got to look it up. I don't remember what I did. You turn the vehicle off. I think you hold down the mute button when you turn the car off. I think that's what I did. And then it'll say ship mode on the dash. Yeah, it'll say ship mode on the dash. But you got to keep in mind, when it's in ship mode, the remote control doesn't work.
Do I need to bleep you out? Are you saying or shift?
Ship
Mode.
Ship. All right, so I want to swap over to No Limits DT. It's a little bit different than the JL. So disables factory speed limiter, disables torque management system and traction control, disables MDS on any of the MDS equipped engines, completely blocks access to the RF hub for the key issue. Speed limiter, MDS, torque management functions can be turned on and off at any time. Simple plug and play installation, silently overrides speed limiters, torque management, no permanent mods. Nothing in the vehicle gets reprogrammed, cannot be detected by dealer tools, and it also leaves the PCM alone. So again, no dreaded P1400 code, and it doesn't need to be, like the no limits on the JL, it doesn't need to be unmarried or pulled before you go to a dealer visit. You know, some people, depending on how aftermarket friendly your dealer is, you tend to unmarry the taser if you're in a warranty period, just in case a dealer's like, wow, what's this? Most good dealers don't care because it's not doing anything, but you don't have to do that with this device. And so those are a few of the differences in between those two products.
Yeah, for the DT, mainly people want it for one of two reasons. It's either to block key programming or to go really, really fast.
I like both those
really,
things.
really fast is really what pushed it, because we had a lot of requests to go over 118, being the truck gets to 118 so fast and then falls on its face.
It's so funny because I talked to Joe and he's like, do you need to go over 118? And he said it, and I stopped, I paused, I said, I guess I don't. I guess I don't need to go over 118.
I just want to know I could if
I lived in Texas, I would say absolutely I need to push the tires to their limits. But I'm in California and there's really nowhere. I mean, it's 4 a.m. on the 210 freeway, maybe. But it's
right.
I don't have any
want to
business.
know you could do it on a desert road and just push it.
I guess so.
A lot of people race these things. They take them to the track and put slicks on them and race.
We've interviewed them.
And they put, yeah. So there's a big following for that, and that's one of the main reasons, without losing their warranty.
Yeah, that's smart. Now, Joe, are you ever going to segue into like the Chevy guys, because they are crying for they've got to use there's a bunch of boxes out there that'll turn off the MDS, whatever Chevy calls it, go into 4-cylinder mode. And there are some, like, you are needed, like you're Superman, but you're only helping one community.
He's only helping Metropolis, but he's not helping
Gotham. It's like Gotham's like, we need you, Joe, and he's like, the light is only shining over this city. He's like, I can't come to your city.
That's not my logo in the sky. He must need that other guy.
He's like, he's doing all these other people dirty. They're like, we just wanted. But I realize you're a one man. You've got a team, but really, it's like you're the brains of the operation. So, are you ever going to expand into the other, Chevy or GM parts?
I can say I've played with the Chevys and the Fords because I make a lighting controller for it. To make it flash like police car. We sell that through a third party. But I know the Chrysler like the back of my hand at this point. 15 years worth of hacking these cars, and the Chevy and the Fords I really don't know that well. Not to say I'll never get into them because I very well might. But right now the Jeep and the Rams are really where it's at for me. It's a big undertaking to take on another platform completely. Everything's different.
Yeah, I mean, I guess once you know kind of the underlying, not code per se, but their strategy, how Stellantis, Ram, whoever it is,
just their platform.
Their platform, you can keep building. You can follow them along as they change. You can go with them.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Makes sense. Anything? I mean, you dropped a huge, like a mountain of good stuff on us. But is there anything else we should look forward to, or any No Limits?
Or any taser updates, things like that. I mean, obviously, I'll pull my taser every once in a while because I'll go online. And by the way, you guys have a really great tool for both Mac, which is huge for me because I'm an Apple user, and for PC in order to plug into your laptop, update the firmware on the taser, which is super easy to use. Works great. A lot of companies, they don't invest at all in the Mac side of things. So that's one of the things I love about the product is I don't have to go borrow a laptop to get it updated. And I usually, you guys are pretty good about posting updates on your social, so I follow that, or I'll check it on the website. Anything coming that we should be aware of?
For the taser, nothing that I can talk about right now. There's always little things in the works, and I'll always put little updates out. But we are working on another product that's really just security-based that will take on our competition and kind of beat them out in every category I can think of.
Wow. I like that.
That's all I'm going to say about that for now. It's going to be really nice when it's out.
Oh.
Yeah. We're talking like you can't steal a car even if the car is off. As soon as you trip the alarm, it locks all 4 brakes and holds them there. So you can't even tow the car.
Very interesting.
Then the cartel's going to come up with forklifts.
Very interesting. Now,
they're going to have to.
On one of my videos, I made a joke about it. I'm like, you're not moving my car. You're going to have to airlift it out. And I don't know any thieves that have access to helicopters. It's that's where you're going with this stuff.
Careful what you say, because that one guy's listening. He's like,
I have a helicopter.
Yeah.
I know, right? Joe, do you hope to have it out by SEMA, or is this further out?
It might be. Might be. It depends. It depends on a lot of factors. There's so much that goes into it because there's so many different cars that we cover.
So if we find you at SEMA this year, we should talk to you. Maybe that's what I'm hearing. Maybe
you probably should. Yeah.
Okay. You might be close enough to divulge more information about it.
All right.
Okay.
I like
all
that.
right. Well,
yeah, I'll have more details then. Sure.
That's a good tease.
Well, I just want to throw out there. Thanks for sending me the No Limits. I've absolutely made my vehicle more enjoyable, and then just my level of stress watching everything Lightning's gone through at his. I'm not putting bollards in my driveway, and I'm not putting 4 different alarm systems and stacking them on each other, and I'm not having a headache rack build. I'm not putting armor plating over my windows. I'm not doing any of that. I just want to enjoy my damn Jeep.
But your Jeep also is not as stolen as the TRX, so there is some of that.
Okay, but it's not like it's not stolen either.
I'm not saying it's
it's the same. So now I don't have to. I'm not going to say I don't worry about it, but my level of stress for wondering if my Jeep will be there in the morning when I go out, if I have to park it,
lower.
Is way lower. So that the fact that I don't have have to worry about MDS, the problems that are associated with that going in and out, and then also just the drone and fatigue on long drives, and then lastly, it's just so much more enjoyable. Just period. Like I don't know. I've got over 3,000 miles on the Jeep with the no limits and Taser installed together. And again, Taser I've had since almost day one. So I've got 23,000 miles on the Jeep, and the last 3,000 miles with the no limits installed, flawless, zero issues.
So let me tell you what we're getting at here. It just occurs to me. There are a lot of aftermarket parts companies that make parts because they think they have to, or they get some requests from their fans and they set out on course to make something that fixes an issue, or they want enhanced performance. The difference here, though, is Joe is the guy that owns the company, and Joe owns all of the vehicles that he makes parts for. And he goes on road trips, and he goes, man, this thing sucks. It should have been done like this. And then he goes back to the lab, and he fixes it. And it turns out that there's a lot of us that are enthusiasts just like Joe. So he's not a guy like making stuff because he thinks that people might like it. He's making it because they're needed.
Can I simplify this for you?
Sure.
Joe's making things that make his cars more enjoyable to him and then selling them to you.
I love it. That's exactly right.
That's it.
Pretty much how it works.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's exactly right. Doing the Lord's work.
He went, I'm going to make
Right.
this better for me. Oh, there's other people who want this? I'll sell it to you. And that's where we're at. So,
Right.
So Joe,
Right. Three honks scared me one time. That was it.
Yeah, right.
You know, that's how that
Well,
works.
it's funny because I'll get I'll get a manufacturer vehicle or something like that doesn't have my Taser in it, and I'll forget. Like I'll back out of the driveway with try with the door open, it slams it into park, and you're like, what was that? Or you get out, to pull groceries out of it, and the keys in your pocket while it's still running because your kid's in the back seat. You're just like, oh, damn it. I wish I had a Taser. I wish every set of keys that got handed to me also had a Taser on the key fob so we could get away from this ridiculousness. But thank you for all the stuff you do. And again, we're huge fans of the product. You know that. But I'm telling you guys, firsthand experience, zero issues, vehicle way more enjoyable. Go to Z-Automotive.com. You can check out the no limits. And if you don't have a Taser and you're frustrated by all those stupid little things, get yourself a Taser as well because it'll transform how you use your vehicle.
And by the way, when you go to Z-Automotive.com, he's purposely buried the no limits because it keeps selling out. So it's not on the homepage. Don't think he pulled it off the website. He buried it. Go on products and then search all products, and then you'll see no limit on the menu, and then you can get it there. But like, you people are animals. You keep selling them out.
Yeah, that's why I had to wait till the second batch to get mine.
I know.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We didn't realize how hot it would be.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for staying up for us, Joe. I know it's like 3 a.m. your time.
No problem, guys. Thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, no problem.
that's
Talk to you soon.
All right. Z-Automotive,
All right,
everybody.
take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
By the way, you know what we didn't talk about?
No. What?
It's $275. Like, it's just not that expensive for something that intercepts the RFID rekeying issue.
Let me
For
put
less
this,
than $300, you don't have that issue
Let me put
anymore.
this in perspective. You've spent more on a dinner with your wife.
No. Let's put this in perspective. What are you at all in on yours?
Well, that's not fair. That's not fair.
You're like
I've took mine to the extreme.
$15,000.
The average person. No, your point is better. For $275,
You have peace of mind.
You've locked it down. You can go to a mall parking lot, or worse, like Atlanta Airport, LAX,
Listen, you
wherever,
may have,
and you can leave your car in the.
You may have a broken window, but your car's going to be there when you get back.
Yeah, so it'll suck kind of, but not all the way. No, I expect no one to do what I'm doing. But for $275, you'd be an idiot not to invest in this if you have one of the vehicles that it fits.
Also, they're on Facebook and they're on Instagram, so follow Z-Automotive. They're super hilarious. Like, there's funny videos all the time. It's entertaining, but that's where they will tell you what updates are coming and all that. So
I feel like their social guy just does stuff for him sometimes. Like he's just trying to crack himself up, and it's funny.
And it works.
Yeah. You got some mail over there for me, Holmes?
Only if you play the jingle.
You email, yeah. I email, do it. We email, that's right. Everybody email, type it up. You email, proofread. I email, send it. We email, click it. Everybody email.
All right, Holman is passing out the printed email. We could just read it off the screen, but we don't. We're actually printing it. We're keeping it
paper.
old school. Yep.
Or
on
killing
paper.
trees.
Yep. You want to start? Or you want me to start?
Go for it.
All right. JL Speedo from Jason Gaynor. Afternoon, gentlemen. We record this at night, so maybe it was for afternoon for you, but it's night for us. I recently changed the tires on my 22 JL Rubicon from the stock BFG to Falcon RT 35 by 11.5. My question is, the speedometer reads the same speed as my Waze. Well, that's not a question, that's a statement, but I understand what you're saying. I have the taser so I can reset it, but I would have thought that the speed would read differently with the 2-inch-ish bigger tires. On my 2019 Duramax L5P, when I put on 35s, the speedo was off about 5 miles per hour. At 69 miles per hour, I was reading 74 on my Waze. What's up with the Jeep? The Jeep doesn't have the X package or whatever they call it with the 35s. The mileage is definitely worse, and I'm guessing that changing the tire size on the Taser will give me the correct reading on that, but the Speedo is confusing to me. Thank you for your insight in advance, Jason. So he was saying that on his Duramax and his Chevy/GMC, Speedo was off. Then if he's asking about the taser. So if he corrects it with the taser, it's still not right?
So he said on his 19 L5P, he put 35s on, the speedo was off, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Then he said on his 22 JL Rubicon, he went from the stock BFGs, which are 33s, to Falcon RT 35s. And his question is, the speedometer reads the same as his Waze. So either there is some error in your speedo, or there could be error in your Waze at the time. Try another app. So I think they all access the GPS chip on your phone, but I found that the way they calculate it is different. So I've had different apps read slightly differently when I've tested. But yeah, you should definitely have.
I don't use those. I'm going to pull it up right here. It's just called Speedometer, and I think it was like $6, version 4.9. I use Speedo, and if what I like about this one, if you flip it and put it in the windshield, it gives you heads-up display. It does it upside down and backwards and shines it at the windshield. It's really cool at night, and it's incredibly accurate. Anyway, this one's called Speedometer, 55 GPS speed and heads-up display. Well, that's complicated.
It also goes back to some Russian company that's going to steal all of the stuff off your phone.
It's possible, but I like it a lot. And
or you can use Onyx, the dashboard on Onyx. If you have Onyx apps, you can also, there's a few GPS apps that are legit that you can use. Okay, the other question is, you said it's 22 JL Rubicon, went from stock BFG. Is it possible you bought it used and the person already had 35s, returned it to stock when they turned it at the dealer? And then your 33s are wrong and the 35s are correct? Because that could be possible also. I don't know if you bought it new or not. But yeah, something is confusing me on that as well. Okay, I'm going to ask Lightning to put his gaze upon our Podshed.
I'm glad you finished that.
TV.
Yes, okay.
And
I'm going to cast my gaze upon the Podshed TV.
Huh.
What? Oh, interesting. Oh,
are we? Because I had a listener, and no, you should see Lightning's face just drained.
Interesting.
He says to me, this is Matt White, says, "Really, Lightning? Not even a peep since the episode just before UCC? This probably nearly killed you. Impressive work embargoing yourself."
Embargo.
Good job to Lightning. You've spent nearly a year teasing us about something new, something oil-related, and then nothing all summer long. I probably emailed you guys, maybe in early June? Nothing. Just kept checking the bank's website, YouTube, even Facebook. I don't even have an account, so I check actual Facebook website and nothing. I even Google bank's oil pan from time to time. Nothing. Wait a minute, until now. And you may have to bleep this out if it's not ready, but I'm just going to read it.
It's weird because this product is not live yet.
Hold on. Cool Runner oil pans, ultimate cooling bundles, Ram Air transmission pans. What? Are you kidding me? I literally just changed my engine oil. I couldn't wait, but I'm almost ready to change the transmission fluid. Obviously, the search results don't actually take me to a working web page, but they still popped up. So I took the liberty to go do some investigative work on this. And sure enough, on Google are the remnants of a product that isn't live yet, because when you click on it, it goes to a 404 page within Banks. Yet on the Google, they have found your photos, your information, and all that in the top search.
Yeah.
So what say you, Lightning?
Super weird. So as of this recording, that's not live.
Right.
Like that. That's why you're getting a 404.
But you're looking at it.
I don't know how Google scraped that.
They did.
Well, they tried, and now so it says, "Did you break something at Banks Power?" Right, and it's got a car with no wheels on it in Bonneville, the Salt Flats. All right, I'll spill the beans.
Are you gonna spill the beans?
Sure.
Are you
sure.
You're not bleeping all that stuff I just said?
No, I'll leave it. Screw it.
All right.
I'll leave it.
How about
okay.
this one? By the way, if you type in just Banks Cool Runner, you come up with a bunch of other stuff like Ultimate Fluid Cooling Bundle,
Yeah.
Cool Runner Oil Pan.
I don't
Cool
know.
Runner
Wow, this is
from 4 days ago. So did you guys have something go live quickly and you pulled it back down?
No, but we're building a new site, and I wonder if it's not protected.
Yeah, you should probably get
Interesting.
on that since your info is Googleable.
You know what? It's okay. This is new news then. If you follow Banks Power, you may not have heard of this, but we have released, as of right now, the Cool Runner Oil Pan. And the Cool Runner Oil Pan is for the 2017 to 2019 Duramax and the 2020 to current Duramax. You got stock, and there's one competitor, and this is by far superior in every way. Not only does it add 2 quarts capacity, but the exterior fin cooling area crushes the competition. The interior fin count is way better. From the drainage to, there's so much better about these oil pans, and it gets better because we have released the Ram Air transmission pan, and that is for all the Allison 1000s from 01 to 2019, and we'll soon, in a couple of months, have one for the 2020 to 2024 10-speed GM transmission. And this one has a Ram Air scoop that captures all the air as you're driving along and funnels it through the long, thin fins and outcools everything else that's out there. And it's pretty groundbreaking. Gale already has a patent on the Ram Air Transpan. But
How has somebody not thought about that before?
We don't know. I don't know.
Seems
but that's
completely obvious.
Yeah, I think I need to do this though. Hold on a second. We need to call Billy. Thanks, sec.
Hey, Jay, what's up?
Billy, you're live on the air of the Truck Show podcast with Holman.
Billy, you up.
What's up, Sean?
I did a Google search, and a listener tipped us off, and I'm staring right now at a Google search for the Cool Runner Oil Pan, the Ram Air Transmission Pan, and the Ultimate Fluid Cooling Bundle, seeing pictures right here on my Google search.
I was forced to debut this, make a world premiere announcement. We weren't going to do this, but now it's live somehow. But it's at 404 when you click the links. But somehow Google scrubbed our pages, and if you Google Cool Runner Oil Pan for 2020 to 2024 Chevy GMC L5P, it pops the freaking up. What?
I'm willing to bet that Google scrubbed the site when we had it live for a few hours while we were testing.
See, I told you that.
my
I asked Light, I go,
gosh.
did you have it live for a moment and then pull it off? Because no,
I didn't remember.
Oh.
When did we have it live, Billy?
Friday. Remember we were going to launch everything Friday?
I was-
we were having, we had to do
that's
some
right,
tests,
because the
additional
bundle
testing.
bundle app
Yeah,
wasn't
I would
working.
say right there, it was about 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that explains it. All right,
And
Billy.
I've got the bundle part almost solved. So if I get this solved, they'll be live tomorrow.
Oh,
Fantastic.
All right, so then this whole segment, you can just throw it away.
No, it's funny.
It's still funny.
It's funny.
No, what's funnier is if Billy promises to have it live tomorrow,
And
by
then
the
it's
time
not.
it's still not.
No, listen. Well, they're going to Google
Yeah.
it anyway.
Especially,
Tease the people.
especially if you listen to this podcast in a month.
Well, there's that
They're
too.
super confused then. All right. Well, good work, kind of, Billy.
Yeah, keep up the good work, Billy.
All right.
All right. Bye.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Okay,
see ya.
Bye.
Yeah, interesting. Now it all makes sense. It was up for
There you go.
half an hour,
Just enough for the...
just enough to get crawled.
there you go.
Man, Google is efficient. Who knew?
I wonder what would happen if we did the same search in DuckDuckGo.
Try it. I don't think. DuckDuckGo. They use Bing as a search engine, so I don't know how often Bing crawls. I can't imagine is as aggressive as Google. Let's see.
All right, let's see. DuckDuckGo. Oh, there it is.
Where is it?
Ultimate Fluid Cooling Bundle 20. Oh, I have the wrong screen up
No,
for you.
that's Google.
There you go.
Holy crap!
DuckDuckGo found it too.
Well, that sucks. All right, live and learn.
Yeah.
All right, well, if you guys have a Duramax,
got some buying to do.
Get your pennies together because you want these. I can promise you that. Okay, then I'll read the next one here. This one is from Wade Goldsmith. After the bollards and the madness, I give you the Fallout shelter.
Oh, interesting.
So
Is that to hide from your wife who's still pissed at you?
I don't know. This is a Facebook real link.
Yeah, it's a link to how to build a fallout shelter
Yeah.
at your house.
But I don't need a fallout shelter.
Is your wife mad or not still?
No.
Oh, she's fine with the
over it.
bollards?
She's not fine with it. She's over it, though.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she's less agitated than when you spoke to her.
Okay.
And by the way, for the record,
Uh-huh.
she's put them up and down like 2 or 3 times since then.
Oh, so I have to
Now-
text her and call her out.
And so out of duress, though, you know what I mean, or under duress, I should say, it's because I left, you know, like she was literally trapped. She's like, I need to go to the grocery store.
So you made her, you trapped her to make her bend your will.
And then I took the key
What a
with me.
healthy marriage.
I took the key with me. She's like, you trapped me and you took the key. I'm like, no, there's a spare key. And I told her where to find it. She's like,
Man,
She's thinking they were like,
I thought I felt somebody swearing you out, and now I know it wasn't me.
yeah. So I don't need the bunker to my knowledge, but thank you for sending that, Wade.
All right, so we got this one here from RB. So Ray, of course, sends us messages all the time, and he says he's got a bone to pick with us. He's like, hey, credit where credit's due, Ballard Mania. Hey, Lighting and Holman, listening to Truck Show Podcast Season 2, Episode 116 today. Circa timestamp 000425.
He loves his details.
I know. Jay's Ballard video is blowing up. It almost sounded like at 000434. Sean was saying to Jay, you're welcome for the Ballard idea. I could have misunderstood Sean at that moment. Maybe he wasn't claiming the Ballard idea for himself, or maybe he was saying you're welcome.
Yes, he did. He tried to claim it.
Hold on. For encouraging Jay to post the Ballard videos to YouTube, and Instagram went viral. But if you go back to Season 2, Episode 74, which aired on 3/23/24, at timestamp 015350, I'm pretty sure my suggestion of retractable bollards was the first mention of it in the email I sent to TSP on 3/15/2024. At that time, Jay dismissed the idea out of hand, and Sean steered the discussion to a rolling wrought iron gate. But unless retractable bollards had been discussed by someone off the air before 3:15, I'm pretty sure my email was the original suggestion to Jay of the retractable bollards. Apologies if I misunderstood Sean while listening to Season 2 to Episode 116. I wouldn't have brought it up, but knowing how much you guys prize accuracy and proper accreditation, yeah, right. Figured it'd be best to clarify the record as I know it. By the way, as a non-Instagram person, I tried to find the viral bollard video on Jay's YouTube channel, but I can only find Jay's follow-up video. What am I doing wrong, Ray? And then he said, oh, never mind. The last sentence below, I found the YouTube videos at 10 p.m. on 8/24/24. It shows 36.9 million views and over 27,000 comments. That's some crazy All right, so Ray, here's the thing. I had brought it up off the air to Mr. Lightning, and he dismissed me, and then I brought it back up because your email said it, and I'm like, I'm not the only one.
So the email was validation is what you're
The
saying.
email was validation for a conversation we had earlier. So, Ray, I'm going to chalk that up to a point for each of us.
By the way, I want you to see this, and I'm not gloating because I don't give a rat's ass anymore because now it's just comedy. Look at that number right there. Second one from the bottom.
55,000 views.
No, wrong one.
87,000 views.
Wrong one.
42 million views.
42 million views.
What are those other videos?
Isn't that insane? Those are follow-up
Those
videos.
are just Ballard follow-up videos?
Yeah. You haven't seen any of my Ballard follow-up videos?
I haven't watched one of your Ballard videos.
Well, that's tragic. No, that's not true. You did see the one where I'm sitting. I had the fake news conference where you.
Well, that's
scoffed.
where I boned out and I didn't finish it.
That one's at the top right there.
Yeah, I was like this. I showed my wife and she just shook her head.
She's like.
And then I shook my head and we went on with
You're
our
like,
day.
Yeah, it's like he's an idiot. I mean, I'd be saying the same thing.
I didn't say it out loud like that, but
I would have.
okay.
I'm an idiot. I'm having some fun with it. It's kind of neat.
Okay.
I'm not taking it nearly as seriously as some of the commenters. Holy crap. There is no way, by the way, to respond to 30,000 comments.
No,
I'm not
you
joking.
just let it water under the bridge.
I
It
can't
doesn't
even, I can't, what? Like, what do you do? 30,000 comments.
By the way, Ray is more wise than we are, and he also wrote this email, which I'm just going to throw in because I'm tired of bollards, and this is in the same vein.
Sure.
He said, Jay, I'm with you. The bollards are the most effective thing you could do given the layout of your place and the lack of garage space to fit the TRX. It's the engineering correct thing to do. Your detractors are clueless, and they lack vision. F*** them. Declare victory and move on, Ray.
I'm moving on.
However, he does say P.S.
Oh, damn.
Once you're satisfied with the bollards, I might suggest you undo any and all the other stuff that's annoying your wife. P.P.S. On a philosophical note, happy wife, happy life. I made my wife happy by agreeing to a divorce.
Oh, nice. I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, a lot of us have practice wives.
I don't have a practice wife yet.
I said a lot of us, not all of us.
Oh, yeah. Although the Ballard thing might make her a practice wife.
Got close.
Tire pressure, subject line from Jason C. Hello, sir. I wonder which, is this hello, sir, to who? But it's to us. Are we one person to him?
Yes.
Interesting.
We are the Truck Show Podcast.
Okay. I heard this is the place to ask this question, and I know you've heard it before. I have a 2022 Ram Bighorn off-road package that had a 275, 65, 18 Falcon Wild Peak from factory. And the PSI recommended was 32 to 26. Wait, what? 32 to 26? Does that make sense?
Nope.
It says 32-26. Okay, don't understand that, but I swapped them for Ram Rebel takeoffs, 275, 70, 18s, and the tire pressure from factory with those tires was 55 in the front. Oh, I see, it's front and rear. 55 in the front and 45 in the rear. When the trucks have both nearly identical specs as far as weight, etc., why is there such a huge difference in PSI recommendation? I know these are E-rated Goodyear Wrangler Duratracs. Without loading and just for driving on the road, where should I be for best fuel economy and tire wear? Okay, so let me go back and tell you that his Falcon Wild Peaks, the 275, 65, 18s, we're looking for 32 front and 26 PSI rear. And the Ram Rebel takeoffs, the 275, 70, 18s, we're looking for 55 PSI front and 45 rear. What's the difference? Do we have any idea? So, Holman, other than the height, you go from a 275, 65 to a 275, 70, but they're both 18-inch.
Okay, so there's more air volume. That's number one. But typically, having more air volume means that you can run lower pressure, not higher. So I don't know. Obviously, they're two different tire manufacturers. So it could be just in the design of the tires requires different pressures. I don't think it has anything to do with a Rebel versus Bighorn. And typically, that's a low load number in the back. So like the 3226 and the 5545. I haven't been around those trucks in a little while, so I don't know what the door placard says on it. And if they're giving you, so if you remember on the Ram heavy duties, you used to, they asked for 80 PSI in the rear, but if you weren't carrying a load, you could hit the button on the dash for low rear tire pressure, and it would turn off the TPMS at that 80 and drop it down to like 55 for a better ride.
I had no idea.
So I don't know what the placard says on that, but I will tell you bigger tire means less tire pressure. Easiest way to figure out if your tires are the right PSI for your particular load, chalk test, rub chalk across the face of the tire, drive it forward, and as long as the two edges of the tread are perfectly square or get rubbed off by the road, then that's where you're at. If it's just the middle of the tread, then you are overinflated.
Too much air.
Yeah, and if it's wrapping around the sides, then you have too little air. Or if it's on the sides and not in the middle, you have too little air because it's folding in on itself in the middle. So that's the easiest.
So what you're saying, though, his question is, for best fuel economy and tire wear, what you want is it flat, perfectly flat, right? With your chalk is the tread,
yeah,
right?
I mean, best fuel economy and tire wear is going to be, fuel economy is going to be overinflated, and wear is going to be even with the ground. So, I mean, there's always going to be trade-offs.
So go the max tire pressure that has the chalk test where it's just flat. All the treads are making a mark on the ground.
And then lower it from there.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was a little complicated answer, but I think we're there.
All right, got this one from Jake Palmgren. Nugget Comedy from Jake Prius, one of our long-time listeners. He says, Dear viral sensation and not so viral sensation. Jake Prius here with a Nugget Comedy. Recently on the show, you've been covering the 11 to 16 Duramax CP4 fuel pump failure. Well, guess what? Thanks to your jinxing, my 16 Duramax CP4 left the chat a few weeks back. Take a guess at how much. Maybe leave a pause for suspense. How does the tune of $15,000 sound? Pretty funny, right? Anyways, the truck is now repaired and had the entire fuel system replaced since it really took everything. I have a short clip of what it sounded like before it failed.
Yes, play.
I'm happy to forward, so please forward that.
Oh, he didn't send it yet?
No.
Dude.
So to help inform our community of truckers, I'm now using Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme religiously and have been toying with the idea of adding lubricity with ATF, which was an idea from an old head here in Sonoma Valley with his 12-valve Cummins. Thanks for all the great news recently and some great guests. Working on getting GM to fork back half of what I paid for the darn pump. Also looking forward to any and all recommendations for my 16 Duramax to keep her running strong for years to come. And that's Jake Prius, or maybe now can be Dura Jake Max.
Yeah, $15,000 because
lot.
your CP4 ate itself and sent shrapnel through the fueling system. Yeah. Oh, it's awful. It's awful. People don't realize how much injectors cost and
All of it.
oh, it's painful. Lightning and Holman starts Robert Gabrielson. Hello from down the street, Eastside HB. Yo, I'm a longtime listener since episode 1 and
I'm
fans
Northwest
of you
side,
both.
but
You are Northwest side?
I'm Northwest HB, yeah.
Do you just like Northwest?
Northwest.
Jeez. Fan of you guys both since the K-Rock and Magazine days. So I wanted to write in and let you guys know that I picked up one of the habanero soldering iron kits and finally got a chance to put it to use on a stereo install last weekend. This thing is incredible. Heats up quick and so much better to hold than my Milwaukee M18 with its giant battery, and it's much easier to charge and refill than my old butane cordless. I'm totally sold on it, and beside that, Chris is an awesome guy. By the way, it sounds like Chris has been following up everyone who's purchased one.
Yeah.
He's been hitting up with like a personal note, which is I think is
That's awesome.
pretty damn good customer service.
Yeah, no kidding.
So anyway, he says, I daily drive a 22 Ram Bighorn V8 4x4, pretty much bone stock except for the wheels and a bed cover. And since I'm a longtime SoCal guy, of course, I had mini truck roots here in the 90s. I had a 94 Toyota Extra Cab long bed that was both convertible and walk-through. Damn! With the solid side snug top. Renaults, and a notched frame running on air shocks and bump stops, which could take off Zot dots. And now are they?
Dots.
He said Zot dots
Yeah, it's
with a Z.
Bots dots.
Yours are Bots dots.
That's what they are.
Is that the brand name? Why did we call them Bots dots?
That's the name. That's what their name is.
Their name? Oh, really? They're called. Well, he called them Zots dots.
Yeah, they're bots.
The Newport Beach PD used to love me. Oh, dude, I feel like we know the same cops. Anyhow, keep up the awesome show and keep monitoring those parameters.
By the way, Bots dots are named after Elbert Dysart Botts, a California Department of Transportation Caltrans engineer credited with overseeing the research that led to the development of these particular markers. Bots dots are most commonly white, but maybe yellow, and used to substitute for the yellow lines that divide opposing traffic in North America. California bots dots are made of ceramic. Other dots may be made of inferior materials like plastic and polyester. There you go, people. California doesn't take everything. Sometimes we give.
All right, well, so anyway, it's not Zots, it's Bots, and here you go.
Bouncer, monitor key engine parameters.
Good email, though. Thank you.
One last email from Wade Goldsmith. He usually finds funny and amusing
And by
things.
the way, it's truckshowpodcast@gmail.com, lightning@truckshowpodcast.com, or holman@truckshowpodcast.com.
So he sends this screenshot, and it says, basically, there is relief coming for TRX owners. And it shows the new RHO, which looks like a TRX. He goes, somebody had posted on Instagram, can't wait for thieves to steal these, thinking they got a TRX.
Yeah, someone said that I should put the RHO badge on the rear bumpers on the hips.
Oh.
I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna defoul my TRX with RHO badging.
That's not a
But it's
horrible
not a bad idea. No. Truck Show Podcast is the email, the general email inbox, or if you prefer, leave us a voicemail, 657-205-6105.
The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
We'll be playing those voicemails on the next episode, so leave us something good, juicy, and funny.
All right, I want to thank Joe Z for being our guest tonight, and for also making some pretty awesome products that make my awesome 392 even more awesome.
You thought it couldn't get any better, but...
well, the fact that I've got that RFID key blocker deal as part of it is like gravy.
Yeah, bonus.
That's not even why I got it. But there it is. All right, don't forget to follow us on social at Truck Show Podcast, at LBC Lighting, at Sean P. Holman. And don't forget to go to truckshowpodcast.com, and also love seeing your comments and your reviews on Spotify. So please go there and support the show, or go to Apple and leave us some reviews there as well.
So, there's like an unofficial competition going on right now. It's kind of happening if you follow Lightning and Holman on our socials. So, Lightning has a video that goes kind of viral accidentally, and then Holman posts a video, and then Lightning posts a video, and then Holman posts another video. What would you guys like us to post next? Is there a project that we're working on? Is there something behind the scenes that you'd like us
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. That's way too much work.
No,
I'm
curious,
posting whatever. I just free flow. If I'm in a moment, I post.
No, I am the same way. Stuff that like I have to be interested in. But I'm curious, is there something that like we're doing our audience a disservice by not talking about? Like, is there something
I know. We haven't really done anything with the Truck Show Podcast Social Club.
Interesting.
The group on Facebook that we were thinking about starting, which we did with It's Not Live.
Interesting.
Would you guys like to interact with each other more? Would you like to see Truck Show Podcast stuff on a Facebook group?
I don't know if they don't know that they would like to or wouldn't like to interact with each other because they don't know each other yet. It's like
They know each other. They listen to the same people, write emails and leave phone calls, and they
No.
want to have a conversation with them.
I think
they're
we just-
brethren.
No, I think we just have to force it on him. You know what I mean? It's like we got to take our friend to the bar so he meets the chick. It's like, but he's not going to like go and just.
You're way off the trail on
does-
this one. All I'm saying is, do you guys want it or not? We haven't pushed live yet, but
I
we
think
could.
we should. No, I think we should.
We could make it happen.
I
It's-
think we
it's
should because
sitting there.
we need to and we've been this is now going on 7 years. We've been saying, oh, we're gonna have drinks with you. We're gonna go live on Instagram.
I've
and we're
said
gonna-
that so many
but
times, and you're the one who's like,
so I shut you down. And now I'm saying
a lot.
and now we
you
want
to do it. All
I'm
right.
saying now. I think months ago I said we should do it. And we've been saying that we're gonna do this a lot, whatever this in quotes are, more than we actually do. And I think we finally just need to.
Why don't we do it
kinda-
while we're driving next week to AMSOIL?
What is it that you want to do? Like just push live?
Yeah, while we're driving, they can talk to us while we're in the car.
Oh,
In the
you mean to
rental.
actually
Like,
talk
while
to
we're
people.
driving there.
Oh, you not just post the page live, but actually go live.
No. Like have a Instagram live and just see who wants to talk to us while we're driving for 2 hours.
Okay, well, listen. If you're not following us, you're not going to get a notification. So wait, are we doing this on Facebook Live or are we going to do this on Instagram Live?
I don't know. Whichever one works on our phones.
Well, they both work.
Good luck.
And we can even do YouTube too.
Whichever one's bigger. Probably Instagram.
Yes, Instagram, we got a bigger audience, but not by much. Our Facebook's doing well.
That's-
If you guys don't follow us at Truck Show Podcast, you're missing out, brothers.
All right, don't forget to go and check out our event page, our feature product page. We've got so much stuff going on. And, of course, don't forget to go and patronize our sponsors, such as Nissan, who is the presenting sponsor of the Truck Show Podcast. They've got an awesome new Armada on the way. They've got the 25 Refresh Frontier, and they've got a lot of great deals on the 24. So head on down to your local Nissan dealer. At least give their trucks a try. Check them out. Sit in them. See what they have to offer. I think you'll be really shocked with what Nissan's doing these days. Rugged, reliable, durable, functional, comfortable, all the things you want. NissanUSA.com.
And I was going to talk about boost tubes, but I feel like now I got to talk about the Cool Runner oil pan and the Ram Air Transpan for Duramaxes. If you guys have a 01 to 2019 Duramax, well, of course, they all have Allison transmissions, either a 5-speed or 6-speed. You need the brand new Ram Air Transpan, as Holman discovered is on BakesPower.com. And
You mean on Google?
by now, hopefully I've secured the website and it's fixed
okay.
and live
We're waiting.
and officially. Or if you have a Duramax LPP 17 to current, we got a Cool Runner oil pan for you. And that is, look, everyone hates high temps, oil, or transmission fluid. If that's you and you want to get rid of those high temps, this is the answer. Cool Runner oil pan, Ram Air Transpan, BakesPower.com.
And if you got to fill those transpans with 2 quarts more capacity, you can do it with AMSOIL.
They're bundled. You can push the button right there and buy AMSOIL lubricants with either the Cool Runner or the Ram Air Transpan.
There you go. Couldn't make it any easier, could you?
Telling you, no, we couldn't.
And if you're competing with your diesel, be sure to check out the AMSOIL Dominator Competition Diesel Oil. You get wear protection, you get viscosity control, you can withstand your turbocharger and underhood temps. Lots of applications that are the official oil of Ultimate Callout Challenge, and it's compatible with a bunch of other oils. However, if you use it by itself and don't mix it with anything, you've got protection that's long-lasting. In fact, you'll be able to do multiple competition events without changing your oil. And then you can use the AMSOIL's oil analysis to determine whatever that appropriate drain interval is. Find out all about this and more at AMSOIL.com. AMSOIL is the first in synthetics.
And when you've decided that you want to protect the contents of your truck bed, you head over to EGRUSA.com because that's where you'll find the EGR Roll-Track electric or manually retractable bed covers. They are the best on the market. The quality will absolutely blow you away. EGRUSA.com to find yours.
What? Looks like they're having fun.
Yeah, we are. Speak for yourself.
The Truck Show podcast is a production of Truck Famous LLC. This podcast was created by Sean Holman and Jay Tillis with production elements by DJ Omar Khan. If you like what you've heard, please open your Apple Podcast or Spotify app and give us a 5-star rating. And if you're a fan, there's no better way to show your support than by patronizing our sponsors. Some vehicles may have been harmed during the making of this podcast.